Welcome to another episode of the Midweek Conversation with First Baptist Sweetwater. We want to be the first responders of God's love. I'm here in Studio A with Teak Hamilton. Teak, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jerry.
That's the first time that we've said that since the New Year started, but here it is, day 5.
Something like that.
Yeah, so old news. But anyways, hope you had a good holiday, and we're glad to have the opportunity to kind of get back into things. So I was gone Sunday. We had a friend of the Acres, a longtime friend from college, and then with Robert from the time he was in O'Donnell, Gary Stidham. He preached Sunday, and so I hear things went well.
He said he has some great stories on Lisa and Robert, and he would gladly tell us some other time. He wouldn't do it during worship, which I appreciate. But I thought, next time we have him back, we could just, instead of having Sunday morning class, we could just have a big meeting with him where he could tell stories.
And we could just do a Q&A.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
come back, Gary.
Let's be honest. There's probably not many things that Lisa hasn't already told us.
I don't know. He said these were good ones on her.
Well,
apparently there was a prank war in college.
I'm sure there was.
This could be fun. Yeah, he did a really good job. I really enjoyed what he had to say. He kept saying he's an evangelist, but I mean he's a teacher, and so that was good. He worked through the passage of the 4 friends bringing the paralyzed man to Jesus and digging through the roof, and we've used that before. And we've talked about how that could have been Jesus's roof. So not only were they digging through a roof, it might have been Jesus' roof they were digging through, but I guess if anybody can repair it easily, it'd be Jesus.
There you go. Well, it's fun. It was good to be away. I visited a friend's church and had a good time there, and just kind of took a relaxing Sunday. But I'm looking forward to this week as we get our year started with a new series.
Right. One mission, right?
Right. Yeah. I know typically the way we approach a new year is that we try to focus on things that are what we call launch oriented. I mean, it's kind of jumping into the mindset that we already have, where we've done some reflection and had thoughts about the year that's behind us, and we're looking forward. And so the first series generally is something that kind of helps us to collect those thoughts and to put it on a track with our church's mission and purpose, and then see where God begins to move us and take us throughout the year. So often we'll come back and we'll look at that same thought or message in the rearview mirror sometime during the year, but definitely becomes a part of the start of a conversation.
And when you say launch, it's that first series of the year, and it's almost like it launches because it gets us to the next thing really quick, because right on its heels is Ash Wednesday and Lent.
Right.
It's amazing how quick that hits.
We've talked a number of times on our podcast how because we are involved in calendar planning and sequencing things, when you start doing that, the year gets away from you rather quickly. And so we have talked about that, and looked ahead past this series that we're doing into the next series, which will be the Lenten series, because we'll have 4 weeks in this one mission study, and then it'll be the Sunday before Ash Wednesday.
Yep.
So it'll be time to kind of move into that season. And so what the thought on that, and Teague and I have talked a good bit about this, because he's doing something with his student, or in the student ministry, that's related to this, kind of taking a different path than you normally do?
Yeah, normally we do a full semester series. Last year we were going to stop in the middle of it and do a Lenten series, and then pandemic hit and canceled that idea. I think we only got a couple sessions in. But this year I'm just using straight up the lectionary series, and our Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights will be straight from lectionary. And so we're doing that, and there'll be a couple family devotionals that I'll send home. Because there's some cool stuff that happens during Lent that I'd never noticed until I went through the lectionary series, and that'll take us up to Holy Week.
And if anyone has happened to be by or through the office or tried to contact Teak in the last couple of weeks, he's been head down, and that means he's been working on the Bible studies for that. Are you finished with the Lenten series?
No. I just finished the third Wednesday of Lent, and I've got the first and second Sundays of Lent finished. I'm going in order, and so it starts with Ash Wednesday, and then you got first Wednesday, second Wednesday, or first Sunday, second Wednesday, back and forth.
Yeah, I'm not. You don't need to tell us that you're going in order.
I am.
It
helps me see how they build the series.
You would think that would be the obvious way to do it, but this morning I started working, and when I really realized that I was on week 2 of the series, not week 1. But that's where the energy was and the thoughts were.
Well, on Wednesdays we're doing
it.
The Gospels passages, and on Sundays we're going to do the Old Testament passages. So in my mind, I thought I should just go straight down and do all the Gospels because they're all out of Mark except for one of them. Then you just do all your Mark ones and then come back and do your Sunday ones. But I like how they pair up going across. So yeah. It's been back and forth.
Well, so you can do it either way. I guess that's what we're saying. If you're a part of writing Bible studies or a part of a consistent rhythm, you kind of find your own process.
You cannot teach them anyway, though. There are specific dates they have to be done on.
Right. It does come down to that.
Yes,
that's for sure.
Those have to be in order.
But probably my experience is more how my work goes than just starting at the beginning and going straight through it. But this Sunday we'll be looking at a passage in Luke 19, and my first concern in doing this passage is that it's the passage of Zacchaeus, which we've done a number of times. Mm-hmm. It appears either in lectionary or something that we'll teach, and I don't want us to get caught up there in that story. We'll talk a little bit about it, but more importantly, we talk about Jesus clarifying his mission in verse 10. And Jesus said that his mission was to come and to seek and to save those that were lost. And there was a lot of criticism in that situation with Zacchaeus and Jesus spending time with him. I think people are starting to pick up on Jesus' ministry, that he spends time with people that they wouldn't expect a religious leader to spend time with. And so there's a little collision of ideas and thoughts about what messiahship should look like, which happens many times in the telling of Jesus' story. But what I like about that passage is that more than anywhere else, I believe that Jesus clarifies singularly what his mission is. Now, we'll talk about this Sunday how Jesus did a lot of things in order to minister to people and to take care of people, but those things in and of themselves was not his mission. His mission wasn't to come and be a healer. His mission was to come and be the Messiah, and so he declares that in that verse. And so I kind of like the directness of that, and then the opportunity as we think about our own life to think about our mission, how we partner with God in God's mission where we are, and then also figure out those things that look like other things that lead to that mission.
Yeah, as you talked about Zacchaeus, I was thinking, and I just read it somewhere, and I'd never thought of it this way. Even after Zacchaeus gives all his stuff away, there were still people who didn't like him and would never like him because of who he was, even though his life had changed and he decided to be a disciple of Jesus. And he'd give him back, 4 times as much as stuff. There were still people who wouldn't like him.
Well, and yeah, it was a no-win situation.
Yeah, he's going to give away all his stuff, and people are still going to be mad at him. And that happens sometimes when you decide to follow Jesus. There's still people who are going to be mad at you.
Yeah, so we'll look forward to being able to begin this series and start with this. Remind everyone that it's not, we're having worship live, of course, and we're also online. But I feel like just as important, we also provide a Bible study that's on our website that will help you to kind of go along with us in entertaining the thoughts, really generating your own thoughts about the things that we're talking about. And so that's the point of a midweek conversation and a Sunday conversation, is that we're all a part of this process together, and God speaks to us through this process. And so it's something that we enjoy getting to do. And probably my most favorite time of year outside of the seasons, being Advent and Easter, that I love the start of a new year. So
the launch weeks.
And it's been that's part of why I took some intentional time off during the holidays to kind of work through this series and to think through what it would mean for us and how we start to structure our year as we put pieces back together. And that's one of the things that we'll be talking about in our leadership meetings, that we still don't know where we are in regard to this whole pandemic world that we're living in, and we're hoping for a better future and waiting for that to arrive. At any moment would be nice, but it's still something we're having to actively manage.
Right.
And with that in mind, it has helped us and put us in a place where we're really thinking about the things that we do, not just to minister during a pandemic time, but also evaluate those things that are working best once we move past this pandemic. So a lot of things going on in the mind of our leadership and our staff. And so I hope that you'll be a part of the process by joining us regularly on our podcast, Sundays and Wednesdays, but definitely, hopefully, you'll be a part of our worship on Sundays. So we look forward to being in your home, or look forward to you being with us, whichever is the case, this next Sunday.
See you then.